Hi, I'm Bethany Kartchner with the Shimmerz Education team. A few weeks ago I introduced you to my junk journal project, and I talked about the inside pages and what I put in there. Now I'm going to talk to you about how I made this cover, especially how I made these stars like this. It's a really fun, easy technique that you're going to enjoy. I'll meet you in my studio. If you're interested in finding out how I decorated the inside of my junk journal and what I've put in it, then I have two other videos that I've already produced for you that you can watch. They're in my YouTube channel and also on the Shimmerz vlog, and that is www.shimmerz, S-H-I-M-M-E-R-Z, paints, ed.blogspot.com, or on YouTube at Bethany Kartchner channel. But what we're going to talk about today is just how to do the cover here. Now remember that this journal is a composition book, and I painted the cover here, and that's what I started with. And let me show you what I did. First of all, I started with just painting over the background, black background, with gesso. Now this is a great paint for making your background have some more tooth, so it will hold the acrylic paint later, and also to cover up some of this black. It's kind of like a primer that you would put on your wall. Now after I did the gesso, you can do 2 coats of gesso if you'd like, then I painted it with acrylic paint, and I just used the cheap stuff that I got, Americana, and I used moon yellow on this. Now the technique I want to show you is very easy. What you can see here is on this one I did kind of an aqua color in the background, and then I chose a Vibez color that is almost the same as the background color, and I put down my stencil and then spritzed over it. Now on this one I didn't have any acrylic paint that was orangey, and I wanted to use the new Vibez color, which is Fiery Fiesta, but I just didn't have any orange. So I think this is going to work though too, because it's the same, it's really close on the color wheel, so I think it'll be really good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some stencils or masks. These happen to be Tim Holtz, and I'm just going to put them down like this, and I think I'm going to put one up here in the corner like that. Now I'm not worried about this binding here. If I spray on it, I'm not too concerned about it. If you are concerned about it, you can put masking tape or something like that on the side to protect it. Okay, so let's do that. Let's see, I think I put another one right here. There we go, like that. Now I'm making a journal for my nephew, and so I'm going to put his name in the middle here. Alright, so when you're using your Vibez, make sure you don't shake it up, but just kind of roll it up to get all the juice down there. Now this is one of the Shimmerz, the new colors of Shimmerz Vibez. Like I told you, it's already before, it's Fiery Fiesta. Now this one has a undertone of gold, which is really cool. And I will just spritz on this, like that. And I'm just going to spritz on just about the whole thing, so it almost looks like it's an orange color as opposed to yellow. So once you've finished spritzing, just pick up your masks carefully. Let that dry, and then I'll come right back. Now my cover is all dry. I just dried it with my heat gun. You can also stick it outside if you have a little bit more time. And you can see how beautiful this looks, and how the key to making something like this, a background like this, is to choose 2 colors that are very close on the color wheel, like the yellow and the orange, or the orange and the red. Usually I choose a Vibez or a spritz color that is a little bit darker than the color that I put as my base. Now you can see how pretty this is. Now let's say that you don't want, I don't know, maybe you don't want quite so much orange in this area right here. Then you can take a baby wipe like I did, and you can just kind of blend it in, and you see that it's coming off a little bit, and take some of it away. So it's a great tool to kind of blend. Baby wipes are a great tool to blend and to fuss with your colors. So that gives you some interest. Now To finish this off, I'm going to be stamping my nephew's name on the cover here but I also want to have some sort of border. I really like borders on my work. And in order to do that, I often use these water-soluble oil pastels that you can purchase at Office Max in the art section. They're very cheap, and I use them all the time. Now what I'm going to do is I'm choosing an orange color, and these work really well with Shimmerz because they're water-soluble, just like the Shimmerz. And I'm just going to go around the edge. Now this is a lighter color, so it's not going to show up a whole lot. I'm just going to go around the edge here, and sometimes I like, because this is such a lighter color, I sometimes like to go around where I masked and give that a little bit more interest there. And then after I'm done adding it, it kind of goes on like a crayon. I will just blend it with my finger, blend it in all the way around, and I'm really liking how that looks. And you can't see it on the video, but the shimmer on this is gorgeous. It's just got this gold tint that you can see. Oh, it's just beautiful. So there we go. Now I'm going to pick another color here. You know, I'm going to do some over here too. I like that look of tracing my masks. It just adds a little bit more depth. Now I'm also going to add another color. I'm going to take a darker orange and go around the edge here. If you find that you do not like something that you've done with your pastels, you can use your baby wipe and wipe them right off. And it's not a big deal. Like if you put it somewhere and you realize, oh, that's not what I was thinking, it doesn't look like what I was hoping, then you can do that very quickly, very easily. Let's add a little bit more orange right here, just a little bit. There we go. Blend that in so we don't have any harsh lines. This technique, I've used this technique a lot on a lot of my backgrounds. Most of my backgrounds are painted acrylic with some type of Shimmerz Vibez or spritzed on top. I just love how that looks. I love the shimmer that it gives. Okay, so now I like this background, but I think it's a little bit boring with just the oranges and yellows. So what I'd like to do is I'm going to take this Blue into Town, which is one of the new Shimmerz Pearls colors, and I'm going to do some drips. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my paintbrush here, and it's already in water, so it's wet. I'm going to move these out of the way. And I'm just going to kind of get some of the pearls on my paintbrush. It's pretty wet, like I said, and just kind of tap it. Now, another way to do this is to get a toothbrush and dip it in this and, you know, kind of do the bristles. But this adds a nice interest, and it's a nice color to add to it because the blue and the orange are complementary. And this is, I think, a perfect color combination for a boy's page or a boy's album. Now, something I forgot to mention, when you are painting your album, what I like to do is I like to put a piece of wax paper between the top and the first page, because that protects the pages so you're not getting paint, you know, seeping in between and gluing them all together. So anyway, I'm going to finish this up, and I will show you my finished results at the end of this video, and I'll also show you a few other projects that I've done using the same technique with the Shimmerz Vibez or Spritz over an acrylic paint. Thanks for watching.